AMP Studios, brought to you by Old Mutual.
Stehr, welcome to MEX10, and thanks for being involved and contributing to this year's ridiculous edition.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
And I think you've been involved, or at least you've contributed many times over the years, if I'm correct.
On the first year, and then I think it was last year that I went down again. But it's been great. I think that there's a lot of lessons that have been learned through the classes.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose from my side, I've always been like into skills transfer, and like these kind of platforms, you know, really do offer that. And I think the one thing I don't think you've done really is kind of a one-on-one retrospective of your views, but also your history in the industry. So that's why I think, I definitely thought this would be an awesome interview to do. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, great. Where are we going to kick off, with drugs or with music?
Okay, well, look, I mean, I suppose, like, I heard of you starting with the POC era. What was your sort of entry into the industry pre-Prophets of the City? Or was that the beginning?
Okay, I think one of the biggest motivating factors of working or getting involved with music was so that there was a message, and a more political message at the time, because it was 1988, and there were problems, and there still are problems, major problems in the country. But you actually knew who the enemy was at the time. So you could focus, and you could actually be fighting the government at that point. So for me, it was great that POC was put together, because I believe that through their music, they definitely could contribute and make a change in the country, which they did. But it wasn't that easy at all. And there were certain platforms, obviously, that they were banned from. The road has been really long. And then eventually, when their message was out there, it was very difficult to get them into the mainstream. Well, when I say into the mainstream, it was very difficult to get them to be commercial.
Right.
So it was very weird. It was like a group that had done so well globally, but the one thing that they didn't have was a song. They didn't have actually a hit song. And it was weird, because if you look at some of the lyrics that they wrote, there were a lot of times where they said, "We ain't making a pop song."
Right?
So we're not going to go commercial. And the saddest part is that to survive in this industry and to survive over a really long period, at some point, you have to be commercial.
Yeah. I mean, were you responsible then for finding those hits, or motivating them to create hits?
You could only motivate so much, okay? You could only push it so much, and that's why when I think Ishmael got really frustrated, okay, because all Ishmael wanted to do was R&B and Kwaito, and that's when Ishmael said, "Okay, let's create this group on the side," and that's when Scheme was born, and that's Baba's Yay came up, and all the other tracks that Ishmael did. So, but it didn't help Prophets of the City, because POC were stuck. at that point as being this political group, and now we came back from Europe and from a UK tour, and the country's partying, and the country continued partying, and there was no real space for conscientizing or lyrics that would make people think.
I mean, that for me, that's fascinating. I didn't really know that kind of the next step from POC was Ishmael sort of creating and then releasing Vivas J. And I mean, what was that movement then your move into
commercial?
Right, and Kwaito.
Yes, right. And don't forget that we'd fought Kwaito for years. We'd fought against it.
Wow.
Because for us, Kwaito, there was no message at all, right? And it was the same lyrics being repeated over and over again. And what Scheme did bring, Scheme actually brought full-on songs, okay, where you could be like, oh, wow, this is interesting. And even with the track Vivas J, I think it had a different vision. In terms of what was happening quite at that point. But also, you know, a lot of these things you don't sit down, plan, you know, they happen organically. And, you know, they have their lifespan. And when you look at the lifespan of a group in terms of how many hits a group needs to have and sustain itself and make it in that period, and the people that they are catering to, the fans, they then grow up. So they are there between 17 and 21, and they're into the group. They move on. Okay, they move on because the other kids that are coming up, the 16-year-olds, don't want to be listening to what their older brothers were listening to, or their parents, or whatever. They want to find their own thing that they believe that actually you older people don't understand, because they understand it.
I mean, look, there's always been this thing that like Lance Stehr has this reputation. He's like a heartless guy and blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm not suggesting I believe any of it, because you and I have always had a good relationship. but I mean,
what did you say? A hottest guy, or what did you say?
Let's say the hottest guy, Lance. Let's say the hottest guy.
I can be very straightforward in terms of what my reputation.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
I mean, there are relationships that you form, right? And there's artists that you build, okay? And you work with those artists from the beginning, right. And you build them up, and sometimes you build them into the biggest brands in the country. And because they don't necessarily take notice of understanding what's actually happening in the music industry, right, and in the music business, the fame, it could be drugs, it could be women, all of those things actually take precedence. So the cars come in and everything else. So regardless of how much you try and help people and say, no, right, this is not the way to go if you want a long career. In the end, right, the artist actually becomes bigger than you, right? So there's fuck all you can do. There's nothing that you can do to convince somebody, dude, you're heading towards the fire. You're heading, this is the train crash that's going to happen. And a lot of the time, people can't take responsibilities for their own actions. So once the smash happens, right, then it's a case of looking at, okay, who can we blame now, all right? Because people just don't want to take responsibility for their own. And obviously, it's very difficult because a lot of the time, you actually don't want to say anything because you know at some point you might have to pick up the pieces again. Okay, so you've got to just let it happen, and then later on you can try and assist and help in any way. But the reputational damage that happens over that period is not very nice at all. Right? So you've really got to have, number one, a thick skin, right, where you actually really give a fuck about what everybody else says. You know where you stand, and you know what your journey is, and you know that whatever the relationship has been, okay, you are very comfortable with what has happened. Okay, so you can answer any question. I mean, there were times, even with reporters, you'd say to them, but dude, this isn't the story. Why don't you come to the office, come in, have a look. We can go through all the royalty statements. You can see how much people have paid. You can do all this. And actually, people aren't really interested. People are just interested in a story that's going to be sensational.
Right. And it's, I mean, I suppose it's, no problems, man. Are you back? Okay, cool. I mean, I suppose it's easy for you to be labeled the villain, so to speak. That's the easiest go-to, and I think like that's often happened where you read this thing in the press. I mean, knowing you personally, I'm like, I personally have never seen that. I mean, I know like our experience is different to other people, but it always, those articles always surprise me because that's not the person I've always engaged with, or that's not the experience I ever had personally.
Well, I think that my kids are always shocked. My kids were like, "Who's this person?" Okay, and then you'd be like, "What? Are you the devil?" Okay, we didn't know you were the devil. Oh, so but you know, I mean, it is what it is, and eventually, what happens is when you stand the test of time, because you can't necessarily for 30 years, okay, working in industry and you're ripping everybody off. You can't, you know, somebody must come and take you down, right? Somebody has to come and they go the legal route and say, no, A, B, C, D, and, you know, so, and then people say, no, but you also pay off, like, the system. Oh, no. And also people, you know, it's so weird because sometimes when you have people, when you've had a relationship with people and then they leave, and it just so happens that when they leave, their careers go down, okay, and maybe they're not producing the right tracks and radio's not playing them and TV, they're not on TV, and then the finger gets pointed to me like, no. You see, the problem is he's paying all these DJs for them not to be on radio. And in actual fact, you can't run a business like that. You know, if I was paying all the DJs, damn, like, you know, I'd really have a fuckload of money. I must have a ton. There are how many stations? 280 stations in the country.
Right.
You know, even if you've got to pay everybody 100 rand a week, it's a lot of money.
No, right. And I mean, especially now with stories about Payola, there's a lot of people talking about, but, you know, it's not just that people are paying stations to play their music. They're also paying stations to not play someone else's music. So again, it's an easy route for people to go, it must be because he paid them not to play this person. That's why they're not successful anymore.
You know, if there's one thing that you can't keep away from the public, you can't keep away good music, right? And you can't keep away hits. The public, the audience will find those hits. And in the end, they are the people that actually make those hits happen, and they make those songs last for 10 years, 20 years, or for a day. Yeah. So I believe that you can never keep a hit down. You know, it will always, there are other avenues. You don't have to be on radio. You can get, okay, it's a bit difficult now with COVID in terms of clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, closed. There we go. But one of the other advantages that artists have and independent labels is that you've got the internet, right? You can actually let everybody hear your tracks. And so people can decide for themselves if the stuff is hot, it's going to go out, and people are going to share it. And that's what I'm really excited about. I mean, last year I spoke about an app called Sci-Fi, okay, and which was going to take all the which your phone was going to become the recording studio. It'll have 15,000 beats on, and you'd be able to record quality music that you could share with radio and on social media. And they could actually decide whether people could then vote for the song. So last year we spoke about it. This year we had a hope that we would have it out by June, July. At least now we are completed. We've completed the app. The app was completed long ago, but we just needed to find the right marketing plan and release it.
I mean, what's fascinating to me about that is, okay, I'm going to give you a very short story. My wife and I were watching this Clive Davis documentary on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
And I turned around and I said to her, I think Lance is like the Clive Davis of the South African music industry. And I say that for a few reasons. The one is, to me, your ability to find talent. I mean, it's lasted decades now. You're an incredible A&R guy. Yes, you run a label, but you also seem to know how to navigate the constant change of the industry. And I mean, for example, finding this app or developing and creating this app, you showed it to me a few months ago. Looks incredible. I'm still blown away by what I saw. And what's fascinating to me about that is you're an independent label. You're a record label. You're a huge record label. So let's be honest about that. But there's this growing independent market that seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And I would think personally that labels, like yourself, label owners would be scared of this movement. But in your case, you're kind of embracing this new evolution that's happening.
If you have a look at the top 20 or the top 40 tracks that are played on radio at the moment, you'll be very shocked to see how many independent artists there are. There's independent artists releasing all the time. There's independent labels, very small labels that are doing incredibly well. I mean, if you look at the track Jerusalem, which I'm sure every major record company is going, fuck, how did we miss that? Although I did believe that the artist was offered to a major record company and they declined him. All right. And most probably that person will be kicking their ass for a long time because the major record companies have got the money to sign as many artists and they can just throw it up against the wall, and if something sticks, it sticks. Right. The scary part, okay, and I think this is where we have a problem, okay? The relationships that we form with artists are not necessarily always strictly business, okay? So you get emotionally involved with somebody, okay? You know their family, you try and help out here. And 90% of the artists, except for you, obviously, have stayed with me. All right. Okay. Actually, 99% of the artists have stayed with me. And the one of the main reasons why I tried to encourage that was to also get into people's heads and to try and show them, try and get them to learn about life, right? And, the dangers of what's out there, because a lot of artists you meet, they're 18, 19 years old, and 18, 19, you can be very impressionable. You look at this industry, and this industry shows you all the glam, and the problem is that everybody's watching what is happening in the States. So you're feeding off MTV, you're feeding off Trace, you're feeding off that, and you're always feeding off the top 20 artists in the world, okay? So you're looking at those lifestyles, and that is where the artists want to be, but they don't understand, you know, in the States, the people that are in the top 40, they deal with 340 million people that actually have got the buying power to buy music there. Our country, out of our 56 million people that live here, maybe it's 65, there is a small percentage that actually have got the money to buy music. Yeah. So it's and it's sad. And also, I mean, I always try and encourage people to do other things, you know, learn how to be a graphic designer, do a video course, do anything else you can do besides music, because the music industry is just so fucking cutthroat, and it is gangster. It is, you know, because there are people have got there's no morals there. You know, people will see there's a fucking hit over there. They'll do anything to get that hit because that hit can bring them a ton of money. Okay? And I mean, there's certain artists that I've worked with for 10 years now, and they haven't made any money. But do I believe that they're going to be huge? Yes, otherwise I wouldn't be working with them. I believe that they have got the talent. But the sad part is that it's not all about talent. That is the sad part. Because if everything was about talent, and you could sit over there and you could go, okay, I can sing like this, and then some other guy comes and sings, it's amazing. That other guy can win.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I always look at like someone like Shoma Josie, who first off, she released, I suppose, independently initially, but this was someone who very, very seriously took sort of the business aspect of things, you know, the marketing and PR aspect of things. And I mean, I remember I was working on The Voice SA last year, and she came to perform. And there were one or two of the contestants who were like, you know, she can't even sing, and no, you know, like all she does is like dance and no. I was like, yeah, and she's outselling you and probably will for a very long time. So what is she doing right, you know? And I think it really goes to that point. I mean, she's a businesswoman through and through. She's a very smart girl.
I applaud her. I think that her strategy and her pathway in terms of how she did it and how she pushed, and she got to hand it to her. And she did it independently.
Yeah, incredible, really incredible, man. I want to ask you about just going back to the sort of the A&Ring side of your life. I mean, I know I use the A&R side. I suppose for me, it's your incredible ability to find talent. I mean, if you go from Ishmael to, you know, I don't know, Zola to Mapaputsi to Josie to Nati to Vusinova, it just seems like this endless ability that you have to find something truly special. I mean, I don't know. Why do you have this ability, Lance? I mean, it's been over 30 years, if I'm correct. Do you go out looking for it? Does it come? Does it just
I've been really fortunate that I think 99% of the artists that I've worked with and that I work with, they come into my life, okay? And listen, we receive about 100, What happened there? Damn.
No problem, man.
Sorry, we got this thing on. Oh, no wonder this battery thing wasn't on. No wonder. Okay. So 90% of the time, so weird. I mean, we receive about 150 tracks a day.
A day?
A day. That's all the time. And I take time to listen to each track, even if I just listen 15 seconds, because you can tell within 30 seconds, you can say, next, move, no, you just skip through the track, no, doesn't. And everything that we've released, and I don't know what it is, okay, but I like every track, okay? So when I say I like it, it's like, fuck, this is amazing. Yeah, let's just change this year, change that year. I mean, we're doing something at the moment where I'm having a huge fight with certain people within the company, okay, because they're all against me on this one remix, okay? And they're like, no, this remix is shit. This is and I'm not, but okay, so I'm feeling this mix. And I think this mix is hot. And I think this mix is going to help the song, etc., etc. And then, and obviously I get a little bit worried, okay, because I'm thinking like, fuck it, why am I hearing this? And why are these guys not hearing it, okay? And then I think, okay, the only way I'm going to make a decision on this, I'm going to sample it out to like 2,000 people, just a bit of the track, and see what they come back with. And now I take that information that comes back to convince the people I'm working with. Like, dude, look here. These people are liking it. There. Look at all these. Everybody's got, yes, there's 5% of the people that are going, oh, please, that's the shit remix, okay? But 95% of the people are going, they dig it. Right. So now, and and it's not that I've got yes people that I'm working with at all. There'll be no, we don't care what the fuck they say. We say it's a shit song. It's a shit mix. And now I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, because obviously we're working as a team as well, right? Yeah. And for me, everybody, we all got to be pushing, we're all going to have the same vision.
Yeah.
So I think one of the other things that helps, I think you've got to have ordinary, very ordinary ears, right? You don't have to have special ears. You are an incredible musician. You're an incredible writer. You're an incredible singer, okay? But so you will make 40 songs and they will all appeal to you, be like, yeah, because I mean, wow, that's amazing. I'm sitting over there as a person that can only play fur-release and very little music, okay? Yeah. And I can't sing, but there's certain tracks that'll turn me on, that'll be like, wow, this is the track that I believe that everybody else will like. Because I'm very fortunate that what I've liked over the last 30 years, even though 80% of the music, 80% of the lyrics I don't understand, okay, which is also another handicap as well, okay, because you're actually listening to something and you're going, fuck, okay, this is hot, this is hot. Then I play to something and then they turn around, do you know what he's saying? No, but I'm feeling it. They say, yeah, but how can you choose this song when you don't even know what he's saying? Okay, I mean, I had a big fight with Cleo, I remember, DJ Cleo, on picking Pitch Black Afro's big track. Okay, and I was adamant. I said, no, this is the hit track. And he was like, no, because, Cleo's also very, Cleo's got his own lane. Okay? Yeah. And he was like, no, that isn't the track. That isn't the track. And I said, I promise you, this is the track. And in the end, it ended up being the track. And Cleo's also an incredible DJ, an incredible producer. But I just think I'm just lucky that I've got ordinary ears.
I mean,
they're not special.
Just on the Cleo thing, did you win that fight? Was that the Pitch Black Afro single?
Yes, it was. That became the biggest hit. It became the biggest hit on out of all his tracks.
Man, that I mean, now I've got it playing in my head. Tofo. Right, yeah. Right. I mean, and everyone was doing the thing. I mean,
yes, it's obvious. It's like really, and Clive's like, no.
I mean, it's interesting you say that. Like I remember you saying, and I had written a crap ton of songs and I recorded them, and you listened through and you said, I need some more songs. I don't have a single yet. And obviously my educated, snobbish musical ass had to swallow a very bitter pill. But it was such a good. I personally feel like it was a good lesson, because I do realize that I can't sit alone and go, this is a single. I do need to play it for people like you, or a manager who's completely outside of being this, I don't know, like producer or actual musician. It's good to have those outside ears giving you opinion, because they're not hearing what you're hearing. And to me, I'm impressed by what I did. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's catchy, or that people are going to consume it in the millions.
Yeah, and also I'm getting to a point now where, like I said earlier, even if I like the track, I'm still going to go out there and play to thousands of people before, not thousands, yes, 2,000 people before, because there's so much music that's being released at the moment.
Yeah.
Every single day. I mean, I don't know if you saw the stats on how many singles are being released a day.
I think it was something like 400,000 songs are being released onto streaming platforms. Something ridiculous like that. I mean,
it's maybe it's 400,000 a week. I think it's about 40,000.
It might be 400,000 a week. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. But
insane.
Anyway, you can Google it. But it's like you're looking and you're going, you've now got to be noticed. Out of all of those singles, you've got to stand out. And that's why it's like, it's a miracle that Master KG's track is being flipped now by Janet Jackson, all right, and by who else? Which other artists have soccer players? Everybody around the world.
Ronaldo, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just so massive.
But now you wonder, if you look at what people are saying about the track, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, there we go. We're back.
No problems.
If you look at what people are saying about the track, the dance that has been associated with it is helping that track like 100 times. Okay, and especially if you look at like Janet Jackson's comment, it's like, yeah, everybody get on, do this dance, right? And you go like, wow, okay, the dance and the track, and also it's in Zulu. It's amazing.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Tell me, I mean, look, this is obviously a difficult one, and I know that it can be easy to point out things that didn't quite work out. And obviously everyone in the music industry has those moments. But I would still say you have so many incredible achievements that have happened in your years in the music industry. I mean, would you be able to pick out one that really stands out?
Do you know, I think that there are two, all right. I think what Profs the City did in 1993, the years worked with Profs of the City from 1989 up until 1997, I think we really pushed, okay. I just think the integrity of the group, what they were saying, right, the message, and how difficult it was without having a radio song that was being punted all the time. Those years were most probably, and most probably those are the years, sorry,
No problem.
Sipa's trying to get hold of me. Those are the years that, you were fighting for a cause. We didn't even drink, right? There weren't even groupies. It was just about music and message, okay? And I think at the beginning stages also of Zola, all right, when we'd worked out a plan in terms of, okay, this is where the brand should be, and the TV show, those were highlights. And then every single artist now, because I mean, at the moment, I'm so excited about the new music that we're doing, and the producers that you work with, because we're working with something like 8 producers, okay, and everybody's producing tracks all the time, and there's new stuff happening. So I can't, like somebody says to me, fuck, I can't believe you're still excited about music. Shouldn't you have moved on? Okay. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why? What is there not to be excited about? You
Right.
produce some new stuff and it's hot and you're looking for a way to get into the market, and you also always looking for that story, the story of the person who's doing the music. Because everybody's got, and it's amazing how that story, I mean, there's an artist that I'm working with at the moment. He's got, sorry, there's something funny here. So he washed dead bodies, okay, to be able to do this, which means he worked in a mortuary.
Right.
He went to the same school as Nati, so he drank the same water. So there's obviously something in that water over there in Mthatha, okay.
Right.
He was also a backing singer for the same female who's singing Jerusalem. He was a backing singer with her for a while. Okay? So,
Wow.
so you look at those 3 things and you go, wow, what a story. That is amazing. Okay? Is he talented? Fuck, he's talented, obviously. Yeah. Right? But you need those stories behind that will interest people, that people will be like, shit, he washed dead bodies? Fuck. Okay.
Right.
He must have been desperate. Okay. Oh, he went to the same school as Nazi, drank the same water. Okay. I mean, those are just like high, like peaks.
Right.
So I don't know how we got to this subject over here. We just went all over the show and then got there.
I suppose proudest achievements, really. But I mean, yeah.
But now, and I'm still so somebody will say to me now, fuck, you still excited. You still get excited about finding new talent, because I think that's what I'm really good at. I'm very good at finding new talent and getting them to a certain point. I honestly don't like it when the whole bigness comes. I'd rather be like, okay, let's get into that point. Yeah, somebody take over next, like, yeah, and next, because especially when the egos start happening, then I'm out. Then it's like, oh fuck.
Man, yeah, I don't even know how you do it. I don't even know how you do it, because you've had to. I mean, look, when I was around, I mean, I saw it myself. I didn't. I mean, like the amount of stress you must have been going through. I just remember a couple of crazy Metro FM awards in hotels, and you having to put out fires left, right, and center. And I was just like, oh man. I mean,
no. I can't wait. I can't wait to tell the real stories behind the scenes.
Oh, dude, I will be first in line for those stories.
I think they'll be very entertaining. Yeah.
I have no doubt.
Okay.
In terms of your own sort of personal, so I mean, a lot of people come to you for mentorship, beyond just artists, but ex-artists, and lots of other people in the industry, see you as a mentor in many respects, and someone with a wealth of knowledge about the industry, given how long you've been able to sort of keep and maintain success. Where do you gain your sort of new knowledge about the industry? I mean, if you had a young artist, where would you what direction would you point them in terms of, if you want to learn about the industry, go here. If you if you want to understand where things are going, go here.
Okay, so I think one of the things that I really encourage people to do, and that is to read. They must fucking read. Okay? Read, get up, because now, unlike 25 years ago or 20 years ago, like, the accessibility to knowledge and to solving problems and to it's there. It's there 100%. So there's no excuse about, no, I didn't really know about, no, it's there. You can just go and you can read and you can actually get some knowledge. But a lot of people are really lazy. Okay, so I mean, I'm working with a rapper at the moment, and I've been encouraging her, like, please just read, because you need more words. You need more words in your vocab. And then she turns around to me and she says, actually, this other person also told me that. Okay, and I was like, oh, and I think, yeah, maybe there is something in read. I'm like, oh my God, please. Just read, and also don't think that it's weird. Okay, producers come in. I'm listening to producers' beats, okay, and then you're asking them, all right, so how many tracks have you produced? How many beats have you done? And they'll go to me, oh, we've done about 10 beats. Like 10 beats. And you're already speaking to people. I said, I'm working with people that have done like 2,000 beats. And the person I'm actually working with at 2,000 beats, who is incredible producer, hasn't had a hit, but all his beats are incredible. Okay? So I'm trying to encourage people to focus more on honing their skills and doing those 10,000 hours. Okay? If you can sit over there, program, and do your 10,000 hours, you'll be amazed at how your skill level.
I mean, you once said to me years ago, I don't know if you remember this. I mean, it's a very simple thing, but you just said, just don't stop writing, keep writing. And then every few days, this was during my work on my first album, you would call and say, are you writing? And I think it's never that what you said to me all those years ago has always stayed with me. And it's almost like it's a healthy monkey on the back. Let me just say that. But I'm constantly thinking about that. And therefore, I am continuously writing. No matter where I am in my career, I believe that, like, I shouldn't stop. And that kind of mantra that you put in my head has never left, really.
You know, one of the other things which I'm also trying to explain to people, it's amazing what information is actually out there, okay, and what hits are there. Even when you walk in somewhere, you're going into a tavern, there are people that are talking, and the phrases that you can find, okay, that you most probably don't have yourself. All you need to do, you just need to sit over there, and you will hear, and it's all there. And you take that, and you build around it, and you build your track around it, and because that is eventually. I'm not talking about all the genres of music, but that is the market that you are aiming to get to, right? And but it's so weird, is because quite a lot of people just see that as, oh no, it's a drinking spree. Everybody's just having fun. Throw the beers, yeah, we're all having fun. Meanwhile, that is where your hooks are.
That's amazing. Market research, effectively.
Well, no, it's what's happening there. That market is just giving you, they're giving you stuff, because you can't come up with everything. Okay, I mean, you can only write so much, and then you've got to be able to take it from other people.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's talk about, it's this thing that we keep hearing, that Africa is the next big thing. I mean, where do you stand on that, especially being someone who is, consistently unearthing sort of new great African talent?
It's so weird, okay? I remember in 1982 when I was in London, okay? And I think Malcolm McLaren was coming out to South Africa, and he had broken the boycott, okay, the cultural boycott that was on at the time. And when I heard that Malcolm McLaren was coming out here, I was like, fuck, I know exactly what he's going for, all right? And if you listen to his tracks, you'll understand, okay? I mean, he's not alive anymore, but he came and he took a lot of sounds from here and blew them up globally. In the same way that Paul Simon did, okay? But Paul Simon did it in a very different way to Malcolm McLaren, okay? Paul Simon, I mean, for me, what that album that Paul Simon did, Graceland, was just, that album has always been my sort of like go-to point in terms of what can happen with South African music globally. So my biggest push has always been trying to find South African artists that can go global. And that's what happened with Prophets of the City. Okay, and then we were very fortunate that when we did Josie, okay, I thought something could happen over there, but things didn't really work out right with the producers, and the right tracks weren't chosen, and the right record company wasn't distributing the stuff globally with Josie. And we actually didn't get paid by them at all, right? They went under in the end. But so there's been that, that growth that happened. I mean, there was Miriam Makeba, there was Hugh Masekela, and I think that the major record companies are obviously looking at what's happening in Africa, okay? And they obviously out here to find what can be exported and what can be blown up globally. And I believe that, within South Africa, like Nigeria's had their run,
yeah,
right? And they had a fucking brilliant run, and it's going to continue. Then you also look at how many Nigerians there are globally, and the support base that they have.
True.
And I believe with the right songs and a couple of the right artists, South Africa can do the same. We can do the same here.
And I suppose Jerusalem is a part of that now.
Jerusalem Mlema has actually opened the doors there. Okay, where, I mean, we're doing something at the moment in France with Onesimus. Okay, and the only reason why it's happening is because of Jerusalem, because they were like, oh, what else is happening in Southern Africa? Okay, and then they came and they did something with him, and we're just busy at the beginning stages.
You've still got a label, but you're creating a platform that's going to be very beneficial, I believe, for independent artists. I mean, where do you think the future of the traditional record label sort of lies in the next, say, 5-10 years?
I believe that we all have got our different skills, right, including artists. And all artists do not want to do everything themselves. Okay, so you will have some artists that are so like they are very pedantic. They will have all their shit together, you know, and then you'll have other artists who are incredible artists in the same way, but they can't get their shit together. I'm the worst administrator. Okay, thank goodness I've got some other people that do it. Okay, and I believe that you will always need to have those skill factors and those skilled people around you, right? So I think that the labels will get, because even now, if you count the number of people that are releasing singles by themselves and small labels that are operating, right? The biggest problem with the small label that's operating, a lot of them think that they can make a ton of money quickly, and that's where the problems come in. Okay? Yes, you can. I mean, not everybody's going to get a Jerusalem, because definitely with Jerusalem, there's a ton of money. Okay, right. So in about 4 or 5 years, I still want to be doing this for another maybe 10 years. Okay, I'm hoping that the people that I'm working with, other people can take over, but there's obviously other things that I want to do. And I'm hoping that also this new generation that's here, they are most probably going to do more of the stuff themselves. Okay. When I say this, which will mean that independent label will get smaller because everything is going to be going online. And so in 5 years, you know, hey, we're still selling CDs over here. In Europe, you can't find a CD. Right. In Tokyo, you can't find a CD. Or people, you talk about CDs. What CDs? Are you mad? Right. So I think our CD market, we've still got maybe 5 years to go. And obviously the major record companies want to kill the CD market as quickly as possible, because the CD market, they want to move everybody into that digital space, because it is easier for them.
I mean, without CDs at all, would you still be able to be profitable as a label?
Without what?
Without releasing any CDs. So let's say the end of
yes,
CDs.
No. I think your main earning power is obviously through gigs, all right, through concerts,
right,
and the gigs. Then obviously comes your digital, and then your CDs, and then obviously through publishing, you're looking at what kind of sync deals you can get together, and where you can place that music. I think that, because don't forget, we've got a huge Muscandi market, right? A massive Muscandi market, and that Muscandi market is most probably only going to go to digital, in most probably 5 years, really.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Well, listen, I mean, I'm not sure if you're suggesting that you're going to be retiring in the next 10 years, but I personally will find it very...
I won't be retiring, forget it.
Okay,
what am I going to do?
I mean, I couldn't imagine a South African music industry without Lance Stehr.
Well, I'm excited. We're busy building a new TV studio at the moment. We're setting up more studios for producers. We want to do some big things over the next 5 years. We're excited about things. Obviously not excited about Corona, but we're excited about what's happening in the music industry.
Oh, it's awesome, man. I mean, look, you still seem as passionate now as the first day I met you. I don't know, 16, 17 years ago. So, I mean, I know there's lots more to come. I personally believe you could easily get a Lifetime Achievement Award at some point in the near future. But just keep. Hey, not yet.
No, I said I'm definitely not holding my breath. I'm very, I'm very happy with. I think I'm happy with my kids. I'm happy with what they're doing. I'm trying to find more synergy in terms of working with them as well, and the people that I'm surrounded with at the moment. I feel that I've got an amazing team that we could do some amazing stuff. And also, it's not, I don't know, man. It's just we're about to announce a deal that we've just done. We'll probably announce it in the next 3 weeks. But I think with the support of the deal that we're going to do on a digital front, it's going to help a lot of artists, and it's going to help the label as well.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, on behalf of MEX10, I'd just like to say thanks for coming and always being as honest and real as you always are. Greatly appreciated, man.
Thanks, Roger.
Thanks, Lance. All the best, man. Talk soon, man. Cheers. Bye.
Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit amstudios.co.za.